The world will know you as pop stars. But you will be much more than that. You will be hunters.
Hey! This is the men's bathhouse. Get out of here!
Let's get battle ready.
Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome to another sketch and review, where I draw something from whatever it is I'm reviewing, only this time, I'm not the one doing the review. That's going to be taken care of by my beautiful wife, who's sitting right here next to me, looking very tired and freshly showered. First, I want to go over the art style. So, K-pop Demon Hunters is not something that I am used to doing, but I kind of tried doing something close to what they kind of look like at first with the initial sketch, which I'll put up on the screen. And I'm going to say I failed miserably with the first sketch. Yeah, it's just not my style, but I did this for my wife since she's a fan. And I decided, what the hell, I'll kind of go for it. I'm an erotic and horror artist, and when I try doing the whole lanky DreamWorks style character design, it comes across as more creepy than cute in my case. So I just went with what I know, and what I know is 90s femme fatale bombshell pinup style comic book covers. Kind of like Witchblade, Gen 13, Angela from Spawn, that kind of stuff. If you know, you're okay with other artists' interpretations, then cool. If not, well, you probably won't like this take. I will say this, though. If people can take something like Doom and turn the Doom Slayer into a cute little cuddly chibi, then there's nothing wrong with an artist like me taking something like this and turning it into a gratuitous 90s style comic cover. As you stare at me. Also, some parts of the art might jump around a little bit, because I'll be honest, I didn't know where to go with this and what kind of style to go with. I tried the whole painted line art, semi-anime, acrylic digital style, but it wasn't really turning out how I wanted. Then I did some comic shading. Then I undid the comic shading. Then I did a different type of shading. And I almost wanted to trash this entirely, but I decided, you know what, even if I screwed it up, I'm still going to post it, and if you like it, cool. If not, then, well, I'm not afraid to share what I consider a fail. I think people trust artists more these days when we post work that we really aren't proud of, but I do kind of like the end product. I think it turned out better than what I thought it was going to be, and honestly, it is what it is. Now let's get to K-pop Demon Hunters. It's totally not my kind of movie, so I'm not going to be the one reviewing it, which is why I have my wife here. So babe, before I pass the microphone to you, what is K-pop Demon Hunters? I know it's a musical, I know it's a cartoon, movie-ish. Let's start with the basic plot synopsis, and it's up to you if you want to give spoilers or not. You take it over from here.
K-pop Demon Hunters is a cartoon movie musical about a K-pop group who are also demon hunters, and they end up encountering a rival K-pop group who are a bunch of demons who are trying to steal souls and try to undermine them and challenge them and force them to face their greatest weakness and shame. And it is something that I turned on just to have something fun in the background to kind of semi-watch while I was doing crafts. And by the end of the movie, I had gotten very little of the project that I was working on done. It had engrossed me so much in that way, and since then, I have listened to the soundtrack on repeat constantly. for days on end. So that is a kind of a synopsis of it and why I fell in love with it.
What's the plot? So I get there's like a K-pop group. I guess it's the girls or the three of them, and there's like a rival boy band. It looked like kind of why are they fighting each other? I mean, what's is it that one has a better songs than the other? What?
No, it's literal demons. So they took a lot from Korean mythology. So in Korean mythology, one of the things that I learned after watching this movie and then kind of learning about how they wove the Korean mythology into it just made it even that much more interesting to me, because they took from like the folkloric practice of shamanism that are women shamans and they turned them into like what would they look like in a modern day setting, which is the K-pop stars. And if they were fighting demons, which these are the demons that they are battling to protect humanity from. So they took that shaman history and that background and that folklore, and they put it in this really fun setting to kind of draw from and like build upon that and just make a fun story that is also hugely impactful and relatable in many different ways, because these characters go through a growth point that it may not seem like it because they went so fast because it's only an hour and a half movie, but the way that they wove the music in, it just tells the story.
So is it a musical in the sense that they break out into random song when stuff's going on, or is it a musical where there's like specific musical numbers during the movie? Like, or is it more Disney musical where like, hey, look, I'm doing a bunch of stuff, then for no fucking reason, I'm gonna start singing? Or is it more like the songs happen in a appropriate musical setting, like a concert or something?
Kind of a mix of the two. So the songs happen in the musical context of a concert, but they also happen to further the storyline. So, and that is one of the things that makes this such a great musical, is the fact that those songs, not only are they well written, not only are they catchy, but they drive the storyline forward. And they also, outside of that storyline, they also have their own meaning. Like, you can listen to them and they have their own connection and their own kind of touch points outside of that. So, for example, Golden, like, it's all about coming out of the shadows and showing your true self and coming forward and being strong. And that's not something that is just stuck in this story. It is something that people relate to on a worldwide level, which is why so many people have flocked to it, because these songs, they're not just driving the story. They do that, but they're also so relatable and so just like they speak to the soul in a way.
That kind of answers my question I was going to get to later on about how the music was. So I have to ask, as someone that vehemently hates musicals, and you know me, I cannot stand musicals in the slightest, except for maybe South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, only because it's so goddamn hilarious, and Repo the Genetic Opera, or the Doomstar Requiem from Death Clock. Do you think I would like it, knowing that I do not like musicals and I'm more into the kind of darker side of things?
It's hard to say. I think you would do good to watch it just because it's a well-told story. You like well-told stories. Yeah. You like, you like stories that have like a deeper meaning to them, and this one does. And like, just not even on just like the emotional level with the songs, like on a technical level, these songs are incredible. So the lead singer of Huntrix, the K-pop Demon Hunter group, she actually hits a high A over, like, a high A, which is incredibly difficult in a belt. So the music itself is well written, but the vocals, like if you go and you listen to some of the vocal reaction, it goes into like the vocal coach reactions, they go into it, and it's just incredible what that singer is able to do with her voice. So that is something that just really impressed me with the music, is the fact that these singers, they're doing these amazing things with their voices. These songs are incredibly catchy. The lyrics are incredibly meaningful, and it all is bundled up in this nice hour-and-a-half movie that also draws from Korean, like, artistry. Like, so they have Korean art history that they've gone and they've looked at to specifically put into the movie, and you can see those details in the movie, which creates this masterful work.
All right, I'll bite. I won't be such a metal elitist to not give it a chance. I mean, hey, look, if music's good, music's good. It doesn't have to be like rock or metal or electronic metal or tech metal or some other subgenre of metal. My God, I'm making myself sound so freaking limited here. So, how was the animation? Because one thing I noticed, I did watch the trailer and I did see some clips of it here and there, and I don't know if it's just the streaming from YouTube or other sites, but it kind of has that Into the Spider-Verse, which I know it's made by the same studio. I don't know if it's the same animation team as Into the Spider-Verse, but it's a kind of jerky animation style where it's almost like claymation, where it's stop and go, and it didn't look all that fluid. Does this actually lend itself better to that style, or did you notice it or not notice anything about that? Because as an artist myself, I will notice that right away.
I'm not an artist, so I don't notice that kind of thing. I will say that there are some like jerky, funny faces that the girls do because it's just adding to the humor, and it's actually kind of hilarious, and it gives them some depth to their personality. They're not just these badass demon hunters. They just like to have fun too and enjoy their ramyeon.
What?
Ramyeon.
I don't know what that is.
It's the Korean version of ramen.
I don't know. I have to explain that. What's ramyeon?
It's the Korean version of ramen, noodles.
So just noodles?
Noodle soup, yeah. Oh. Ramyeon.
I don't know what that is.
So, going back to the animation, they did a really good job with, for example, the choreography and some of the really cool stuff that they did. So, the animation actually goes in time with the beats of the music. So, they timed it down to the beat so that you have, like, these hard-hitting K-pop beats, and you're seeing it, the movement of the animation and the action is happening to the beat of the music, which had to have taken an incredible amount of time to get that timing perfect.
Interesting. You don't see that a lot anymore, where music plays into the actual action you're seeing on screen. That was something that felt like it was lost since the old Merry Melodies Looney Tunes days, where you'd have like music going, and you know what I'm talking about, right? Like Bugs Bunny's tiptoeing, and you have like the pizzicato, like violins kind of going. Interesting. I'll have to check that out then. How would you say the balance is? I'm just kind of brought this up since you're talking about like the plot, story, and the music and everything. What's the balance between story and action? Not that I have to have nonstop action, but part of my problem with old anime in the past was it was so story heavy, and I get it was maybe for budgetary reasons, but there'd be these long stretches of just nothing happening, followed by maybe like a 4 or 5 minute, if you're lucky, action sequence, and then again it's a whole lot of nothing, which I was really selective back in the day. Like I only liked maybe the first Vampire Hunter D movie, the second one, Bloodlust, Berserk. What was another one I watched? Hellsing was okay, but the animation was a little bit too kind of stiff for me. So how is it here where is there a whole lot of just plot, plot dumping and story dumping and then action, or would you say it's pretty well balanced?
I would say it's pretty balanced because you get plot and then action, and then plot, then action, plot, then action, and the action is part of the plot. So the plot, they tell the plot in an entertaining way to keep you engaged, and they don't go into exposition dumps. So they kept the runtime at an hour and 30 minutes, which, if you're looking at modern movies, that's pretty short. They really trimmed down the story, and they kept the story tight. They kept it clean, and they kept it focused on what the story is, and they gave you just small hints about the characters to give the characters the depth so that you connected with the characters. But they didn't spend a ton of time delving into it. They gave you they gave you the setting, they gave you the emotional impact and the punch in the gut from the story and the plot that you needed to be invested in the characters, and then they moved on with the action.
So it's not made like your typical mainstream Hollywood movie. Interesting. And don't take this as my questioning being that I'm trying to dig in looking for something bad. I'm genuinely curious, because a lot of movies like this that I've seen before along this style, they were just kind of boring, to be honest. But at least from this, yeah, it's like the music, the action, the plot, everything kind of moves at a moderate pace and everything's balanced well. Like, you're selling me on it. I'm not going to lie. For someone that is totally not into something like this, and I'm not just saying this just for this video, but really, yeah, it seems like it's a fun time. So I will say, oh, go ahead.
So I don't typically like to rewatch things. I've already rewatched this once, and I plan to rewatch it again when I have time. And I usually don't rewatch things because I don't have time. But the first time I watched it, it was, as I said, I wasn't expecting to pay a bunch of attention to it, but I ended up glued to the TV. The second time, I thought, well, maybe I won't be as glued to the TV this time. No, I was just as glued to the TV, and I still want to watch it again.
Yeah, you rarely watch things more than once. You're like a one and done, almost like me. Well, it depends on the movie. Like, I can watch Predator, Aliens, Terminator 2, Hellraiser, fucking Nightbreed. There's movies, 300, yeah, whatever. I can watch those over and over again, usually when I'm drawing in the background. But for you, to say that you'd watch it again, that is saying something. Is there anything about it you didn't like? I mean, it sounds like you like everything about it, but is there anything you would change, or if they make a sequel, which I'm pretty sure they are because this is already like broken Netflix according to what I've seen, anything you would like to see them embellish or change or like kind of expand upon from the first one?
Let me see it in the movie theaters. That would be the only thing I would change.
Really, that's it? You wouldn't make it 5 minutes longer? You wouldn't flesh anything out? So it's pretty well paced for you, like 100%? All right. Any final thoughts? Anything you didn't get to mention that you want to mention here? Like, usually I don't score movies or games on a like 5 out of 10, 9 out of 10, or an IGN 7 out of 10. Jesus Christ, fucking IGN. I just go by, is it worth watching, or is it worth playing, or is it worth buying, or no? It's because you're either going to watch it or you're not going to watch it. There's none of this, it's a 5, it's a 6, it's are going to watch it or not. So what are your final thoughts?
It's not a worth watching. It is a you should watch. You should absolutely watch this movie because it is so well done. The story is so well done, and the message that they've baked into it is all about resiliency and pushing through and accepting yourself and becoming the best version of you. And if that's not something that's worthwhile, then I don't know. That's not something you see very often anymore, and I think that it's part of why it speaks so much to so many people, but it's just so well put together and thought out, and the details that they've put into it really make it a one-of-a-kind kind of masterpiece.
Yeah, this movie kind of came out of nowhere. Like, I didn't see any advertising for it until you told me about it. Like, K-pop Demon Hunters. Is this another one of your, like, K-drama shows you're talking about? Oh, no, it's a Netflix anime or cartoon. I don't even know what to describe it as. An animated movie coming out. But, yeah, you really don't get that kind of positive message, I guess, anymore these days without having to put someone else down to elevate, whoever's spreading the message or giving the message. So you'd say it's just positive overall?
Yeah, it's just positive.
Oh, that's really, no, that's refreshing. I have to say that is very, very refreshing. Anything else you want to add before I wrap it up?
Rugino forever.
I have no idea what that means, but okay. Whoever, I guess if anybody watching this knows that, cool, ditto, same thing. Who again, forever?
It's the combined name for the two leads. You know how they make those cute names for celebrity couples? It's the cute name for the celebrity couple in the movie Rugino.
So what, they don't get together? Or they do get together? Is it a love story? Is it a love story or is it not a love story?
There's an undercurrent of a love story, but it's not your typical love story. I will say that. I'm not going to give you a spoiler, but it's not your typical love story. And the fact that they didn't turn it into a full-fledged love story, they actually removed the kiss scene, actually makes it even stronger of a story.
That is a spoiler then. You just said they removed a kiss scene. Did they go full on, what was it? Rise of Skywalker, Rey and Kylo Ren. She's the good girl, he's the bad guy, and they have to fucking save each other kind of thing?
It's more of an acceptance of who they are and what they've done and the choices that they've made and righting wrongs for those choices.
So what you're saying is it's a better love story than Twilight. All right. Well, if you guys enjoyed this, please hit that like and subscribe and check out K-pop Demon Hunters, which looks like I'll be checking out too. Take it easy. I'll see you on the next one.